Welcome back, soccer fans. Today, you and I are going to break down one of the most highly anticipated matchups of the 2026 World Cup, where the three Lions of England face off against the Scandinavian Lions of Norway. Now, if you look at the rosters and listen to all the mainstream media hype, England looks like an absolute juggernaut, ready to dictate the tempo of this game. They have Jude Bellingham playing almost like a second striker, Declan Rice anchoring the midfield like an absolute powerhouse, and Thomas Tuchel, a tactical mastermind who is practically built for tournament play. Honestly, almost all of my colleagues in the media are dreaming of an easy 2-1 victory for the English side. But let me stop you right there, because modern soccer does not care about paper reputations or who has the higher market value. Today, looking at this match through the lens of an analyst who absolutely loves a good underdog story and lives for massive tournament upsets, I am going to show you exactly why Norway has everything they need to shock the world and send the English team packing. People are completely discounting the Norwegians, but soccer has a funny way of punishing arrogance, and this matchup has all the ingredients of a classic trap game for England if they are not careful. Let us start with part 1, the classic one-man team trap and the dangerous complacency creeping into the English camp. For years, the soccer world has viewed Norway through a very narrow, biased lens. The common narrative is that they are just a one-man show, or at best, a group of 4 or 5 high-level stars carrying a roster of mediocre players. And of course, the undisputed focal point of this entire conversation is Erling Haaland, a ruthless goal-scoring machine who can tear any defensive line to shreds when he gets going. But reducing this team to just one player is a massive mistake. This lazy assumption that stopping Haaland is the single key to defeating Norway is going to be a double-edged sword for England. When the English defense hyper-focuses on the Norwegian number 9, they will inevitably leave massive, dangerous gaps open in their own defensive shape. Remember, having 4 or 5 elite players is more than enough to win a single elimination knockout game. Norway does not need to play beautiful soccer, and they do not need 70% possession. They just need to absorb pressure, park the bus in front of their goal, and wait for that one perfect moment to launch a devastating counterattack. Now let us look at part 2, shutting down the heartbeat of the English midfield and addressing the potential fatigue of Jude Bellingham. To pull off this massive upset, Norway will undoubtedly study England's tactical engine inside and out. Right now, the absolute strength of the three Lions lies in their central spine, specifically the connection between Declan Rice and Bellingham. Rice operates like a relentless defensive vacuum, dropping deep into his own half to collect the ball and carry it forward, while Bellingham constantly makes late runs into the box to support Harry Kane up front. But overdependence breeds vulnerability, and England is dangerously reliant on this dynamic duo. Let us play out a very realistic scenario. What happens if Norway's incredibly physical, hard-working midfielders swarm the center of the pitch and completely cut off the passing lanes between Rice and the attacking line? If Rice is starved of time and space, he cannot progress the ball, and England will immediately fall back into those frustrating, stagnant attacking patterns we saw so often under their previous managers. They will look completely lost and devoid of any real creative ideas. On top of that, Bellingham's explosive, high-energy style of play is brilliant, but it demands an unbelievable amount of physical exertion. As a tournament progresses into these grueling knockout stages, fatigue inevitably starts to creep in. A worn-down Bellingham is going to find it incredibly difficult to escape the tight, highly disciplined defensive marking of the Norwegian backline. If they can frustrate him early and limit his touches in the final third, England's entire offensive game plan starts to crumble under the weight of their own expectations. Sure, Thomas Tuchel is an incredibly smart coach who knows how to adapt. We saw him deploy a back four of central defenders to neutralize aerial threats during their match against Mexico, which worked out well. But facing a Norwegian team that relies on direct, vertical counterattacks and features a ground monster like Erling Haaland, is a completely different beast. Tuchel's temporary, mid-match defensive band-aids might not hold up this time around when Norway starts running directly at a vulnerable English defensive line that is not used to that kind of raw power. Most of the neutral television pundits and sportsbooks are comfortably predicting an easy 2-1 victory for the English, expecting Haaland to maybe grab a late consolation goal just to keep things respectable. But honestly, as someone who studies this game for a living and knows how tactical underdogs operate, I see a much more dramatic and romantic storyline playing out on the pitch. I do not think this is going to be the walk in the park that the media is predicting, and England is in for a massive reality check when they step out on that field. I believe Norway is going to drag the English team into an incredibly frustrating, highly physical war of attrition. They will comfortably absorb pressure for long stretches of the game, letting the English players pass the ball around aimlessly until frustration sets in. Then, just as England commits too many bodies forward, Norway will ruthlessly punish their impatience with 2 quick, brilliant goals from Erling Haaland. You heard it here first, folks. I am going out on a limb to predict that Norway is going to send Thomas Tuchel and his squad packing with a shocking 2-1 victory. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's podcast. Now I want to hear from you. Are you betting on the tournament experience and pedigree of the 3 Lions? Or do you believe we are about to witness a historic, miraculous upset by Norway? Drop your thoughts, hot takes, and score predictions in the comments section below, and make sure to subscribe so you do not miss our next tactical breakdown. Until next time, keep your eyes on the pitch, enjoy the beautiful game, and we will talk again very soon.